All right, everybody, I am back with a brand new DC update. And I don't know if you could tell by my voice, but I've had to yell at my dog a lot today. He was very naughty, so you'll have to ignore and just get past that I'm having a hard time speaking. I did strain my vocal cords. One of those Batman cups that I had. He reached up, grabbed it, and it shattered everywhere, and that led just to more chaos. And so it's been a very trying day with my dog. But I know this stage is only temporary. But I did want to get a DC update out here. And there's a couple things we're going to talk about here today. The first thing I'm going to do is show you the couple of screen grabs I've had since my update yesterday. And then I'm going to talk about the future of my channel at the end. Because a lot of people have this feeling that my channel is going to disappear and then I'm going to lose all my subscribers when Superman becomes a success. And I'm going to address this at the end of the video. So you're going to want to stick around for that. And I also blocked the most toxic mother effer I have had to deal with on social media for a little while now. And I've just had enough of it. And you guys probably know who that is. I just finally blocked him today on X, and I'm just not going to have anything to do with this individual because all they do is attack, and this is what the gun crowd does. And this is why I don't go after people, because it not only are you doing something that's not right, you're claiming to take the high moral ground, okay? And that's not okay. If these people were really happy with Superman, and they were happy with the direction of the DCU, they wouldn't have to talk about other people, okay? And this is why I don't talk about other people on my channel. I know what I like. I know where I want things to go, and that doesn't involve other people, okay? There are people who think like I do, and a lot of people who are upset that I bought tickets to go see Superman, and I keep telling people, I've been very upfront and honest about that I was going to go see the film. What I usually do with DC films is I will go see DC films 5 to 7 times, and I usually take other people. I'll go with my dad. I'll go with my brother. I'll go with my best friend. I go with my wife. We bring groups of people sometimes. This is how this usually works, okay? And this is what they're forgetting about Superman. If you don't have the diehard comic fans bringing more and more people back to the theater, the movie's not going to be a success. But like I said at the end, we're going to talk about what happens if it is a success and what's going to happen if it's not. So we'll get to that at the end. But let's take a look at a few of the things that I grabbed today, because there's one thing specifically that I thought was very telling about what is going on with the social media group of people who are totally gun positive. Like, it's just some weird stuff going on. But let's take a look. First up, it is announced that Creature Commando Season 2 is now in production. And again, this mystifies me. This was an irreverent, disgusting TV show that should have never been made. It was not in the top 100 shows of the year. But because James Gunn is in charge, he gets to get a Season 2. Nobody watched this show. Nobody did. The viewership for this was minuscule compared to what they need. And this is supposed to be part of the DCU. So here was the main thing I wanted to talk about in regards to what I grabbed. And I just grabbed this earlier today. So this Retro Waffles person said the Dark Knight trilogy are phenomenal movies, but are absolutely dogshit Batman movies. Taking out the fantastical and leaving realistic, grounded Batman is basically making a boring Batman. Then obviously this person doesn't believe they're phenomenal movies. Both of these things can't be true. And I said, this is where we are at. Movies that made billions and are beloved by now, which are beloved, are now crap because they aren't comedies. When DC goes realistic, when they go serious with it, this is when people go to the theater. It's a fact. If you look at Batman Returns, and then you look at Schumacher's movies, there's some nostalgia for the Schumacher films, but they're not beloved like Batman was, or Batman Returns. You had the Dark Knight trilogy. You had the early years of the DCU. Even that's including the Suicide Squad, Wonder Woman. Things were good up through Aquaman. And then the studio, they tinkered with so much of that prior to even getting to Aquaman that you pissed off all of your customers and they stopped going and they turned everything into a comedy. And this is where we're headed with Superman. Clearly, after that trailer yesterday, this is going to be, like I said, it's going to be way goofier than what we got in 78. They are going Silver Age Superman. There's no question about it. And it's crazy that prior to this all going down, James Gunn swore he was not going to make this like Guardians of the Galaxy. And you totally get that tone from that trailer that he is making a Guardians of the Galaxy Superman film. There are so many freaking characters jammed into that movie. There's no way this is going to be a phenomenal, strictly Superman, a Superman-centric film. I don't see how that's even possible because you got the Lex Luthor storyline, you got the storyline with Lois Lane, and Superman. You got the storyline with Metamorpho, his child. You got the pocket universes and all this stuff going on. First of all, this movie is being jammed into 2 hours and 9 minutes, and you take the credits out, that's probably right at 2 hours. I don't know how they're going to be able to pull that off and make it a coherent or a decent film. There's way too much going on. And it's just crazy that this is where we're at. These were all things that everyone said wasn't going to happen, and now they're saying it's a good thing that this is all happening. Make it make sense. And like I said, if these people were really happy with what they were getting, they wouldn't even be out here posting this stuff. They wouldn't have to. Also, it was announced that a Mr. Miracle animated series is in the works at DC Studios. Who asked for this? Tom King will serve as a showrunner. This wasn't even announced as part of the slate. They are doing exactly what the old regime did, and they're just throwing stuff out there, and they're just throwing things in the wind. Who's going to watch that? Seriously. This will have worse viewership than Creature Commandos will. But you know what? It'll probably get a season 2, season 3, season 4, season 5. And a lot of people don't like Tom King. A lot of comic readers do not like Tom King. All right, so let's talk about the future of my channel because there are so many people coming into my comments. And I'm going to be blocking these people from here on out saying, we can't wait until this, Superman is a success so we can throw it in your face and your channel disappears forever. You lose all of your subs. I was here long before James Gunn became the CEO of DC Studios. My channel was already growing long before that, okay? I don't want to be here talking about negative stuff. I clearly love DC, and you can see that on X. I'm one of the few people that talk about DC Comics that actually share a lot of the DC stuff that I have, that I'm collecting, and things that I own. Not many actually go through that effort. They just simply talk about the video side of it. I'm showing you that I am a true DC fan, but there were so many people out there saying you're not a true DC fan because you're not supporting Superman. But then I buy a ticket for me and one other person, and it's like all hell breaks loose. And now I'm a traitor. Make it make sense. I have to review the film, and the earlier I review the film, the better it is for my channel, and it's better for everybody who wants to see my review. And so what's going to happen if Superman is a success? Here's what's going to happen. My channel is going to continue. And if it's a good movie, I'm totally going to admit it's a good movie. There is still a chance that I may end up coming out of that movie saying it's amazing. You guys should go check it out. That could absolutely happen. I haven't seen the movie yet. All I can go based off of is what they've done with the marketing. And I got to tell you, for such a big film, the marketing has been shit, okay? They keep showing you goofy, stupid things, horrible CGI. They didn't even want us to hear dialogue from the beginning, and you can clearly see after the last trailer why they don't want us to hear the dialogue, because the dialogue is written by a 12-year-old. It's just stupid, unfunny, and it's not engaging. James Gunn is not a deep thought, amazing filmmaker. He's simply not. That is not what he is. This is going to be very on the surface and maybe it will resonate with audiences. I really don't know. I feel exactly the same way I did with The Flash. I had a feeling maybe that movie will be phenomenal, and then other days I'm like, there's no way this is going to make any money. And I knew it wasn't going to be as big as they said, but it became a much bigger flop than I was expecting. That same thing could happen with Superman. Superman may be terrible, but what's going to happen if this movie is a success? You're never going to hear the end of it from the gun crowd. They're never going to stop gloating. It's never going to end. Okay? It's never going to end. And anybody that comes into my comments, if it's a success and starts gloating about it and talking about how wrong I was, you're getting deleted. I'm just telling you right now, you're getting deleted because you are the type of people that you cannot have a conversation with. It's only going to be, I told you so. I told you so. Okay? Now, let's talk about what happens if it is a failure. Yeah, I'm going to talk about being a failure and how that's what I predicted from the beginning because James Gunn is James Gunn. But will I be talking about it for years and years and years and throwing it in everybody's faces, personally going in and attacking certain channels? No, I'm not going to do that because I want this movie to go away. I want this to be done. I want James Gunn to be taken out of DC. I want DC to be in the hands of people who actually care about the characters. I mean, we got freaking Green Lantern flipping off people in the Middle East in the film. This is the juvenile, stupid stuff that James Gunn does. It's who he is. It's all he knows. He's a one-trick pony. It's all that he does. And I told everybody this from the beginning. And they haven't shown anything that proves otherwise. But there's still a chance this movie could be good. There is. But if it's not, I'm not going to sit here for months and months and months and months and months and just throw it in everybody's faces. I'm going to just come in and say, look, I warned everybody this was going to happen. It's who James Gunn is. And then I'm going to move on to the other DC stuff and start talking about the other things. What I also won't be doing is reviewing Creature Commandos and Peacemaker Season 2. I'm not going to do either one of those because I'm tired of seeing Gunn's juvenile, stupid crap. And it's what it is. The guy he's like a freaking teenager stuck in an adult's body. And it's not the type of content that I want to consume. I want something more engaging. We started out with Man of Steel, Batman vs. Superman, Zack Snyder's Justice League, Wonder Woman, Suicide Squad. Everything was great. We had it all. It's been downhill ever since, and it looks like we're going to be digging a deeper hole. But if it's successful, I'll totally come in and admit I was wrong. But I'm not going to tolerate people coming in and berating me in the comments. It's not going to happen. And this would be the first time that I've been massively wrong about something. I'm really good at judging with movies if they're going to be a success or not. I've been following movies my entire life. Movies have been a huge part of my life, going all the way back to when I was a kid. You know, every freaking Friday, we would get either Church's Chicken at my house or we would get Domino's Pizza, and we'd all go to the movie store and rent movies, and we'd watch movies all weekend. That was my childhood during the summer. It was amazing. It was fun. I've loved movies. I reviewed movies for my high school newspaper. Movies have always been a huge part of my life. I built a movie theater in my house with my own two hands. I love movies. I've been watching movies my entire life. I want something that's good. I don't want cheap thrills. I want something better. And so my channel is not going anywhere, guys. It's going to continue. And on that note, if you haven't subbed yet and you like my content here, please take the time to like the video, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you'll be notified when I have new videos go up. I appreciate every single one of you guys. If I did not have a following on here, I wouldn't be on here. I appreciate all of the support. You guys have been here with me for almost the last, coming up, I think, on 5 years, coming up in like August or September. So I'm coming up on the 5-year mark on here. And I've had incredible growth over the last year and a half, like incredible growth. And I appreciate that. You guys have been amazing. I appreciate all of the support. You guys make it all worth it. And I will see you here on the next video.